Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Hot Mic. I'm going to be joined by Brack, new to Luminosity, and Rated of Units, as I guess you guys didn't come up with a better team name.
Well, Spencer came up with that.
Yeah, it was Spencer?
I did not come up with Units.
It was All right, well, Enable was supposed to be on the show. He goes back-to-back. I guess he opted not to show up. He slept in. I've tried to call him. It goes straight to voicemail. I've tried calling all of his teammates, and no one has answered. So, Enable, enjoy getting top 6 at Miami. But, yeah, no, we're going to get through the show. We're going to have some fun. So, first up, I just want to chat with you guys, see how you're doing. You're here for the Pro League. Brack, how you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling really good, yeah.
You excited? You excited for this new squad?
I'm so excited, yep.
I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it. I've said some big things. You haven't seen the Trading Shots episode, but I'm going to need you to live up to all those. And if you don't, then it's going to make me look stupid. Rated, how about you?
Absolutely no idea.
You know how you're doing?
No, I'm doing all right. Like, everyone keeps talking about our new team, saying there's zero chance of us winning a map, blah, blah, blah. If there was any other game besides this game, I'd say it's probably we'd have zero chance. But this game's just run around as 5 people.
Just run around with some skill and you think you can make plays?
You don't need skill. You're killing people half health if you're playing the game properly.
All right, well, we'll see. I think there are some question marks around it, certainly. Well, Brack, I want to start talking with you a little bit. So this is your first year as a pro. I mean, you're in the Pro League. You're making a name for yourself. You're becoming this kind of rising young superstar. Where did this start for you? Where did COD Esports begin?
Started way back in the day. I was watching, obviously.
When did you first start competing? Like recently?
Yeah, last year. I played in the open bracket. Didn't go that great.
What was your first placement?
T112.
I had Envoy on once. I think he said he was in a similar spot, so you're not the only one. Well, how'd it go from there?
It went good. Progressed throughout all of last year. And then starting in this year, I got dropped. Thought about quitting and just doing college full time. But then that's whenever Jetly, Pars, and I formed. And then we placed at Vegas.
Was that basically what changed your mind, the opportunity to be on that team?
Yeah. Changed my mind was that placing at Vegas. If we placed bad at Vegas, then it's probably chalked.
Well, let's talk about that, though. Like, that team, that Midnight team, I think, was one of the most surprising things for us, absolutely, to begin the year. Like, no one expected how hot you guys were going to come out when you start, like, 5-2 in the Pro League, something like that. You had the run at Vegas. What was that like, though, dealing with when that team fell apart and then everyone, the different pieces, kind of spread out across the league?
It definitely sucked. We tried to do everything to stick together. Obviously, Envoy got that offer from Gen G, and that's what kind of made us start thinking about other options. Pars went to UIU, I think, right after that. It sucked for all of us. We still kind of talk a little bit, but yeah.
Is it weird now, like seeing, like, what, Jetly's out of the league, Parzilion's out of the league? Is it kind of, are you close to those guys still? It's kind of tough to see that?
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, I can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting year, and then Rated for you. I mean,
where do we start?
Organizationally, it's been a nightmare from Red Reserve to Denial, now in Flux. Has that been a big distraction for you this year?
I don't think so. As much as everyone says, like, well, obviously I'll never know actually if it affected what happened this year, but I don't personally think it affected how we played. Like, our old team wasn't even that bad. It was just like, as soon as the organizational problems happen and, like, Matt's playing how he's playing and he knows he can join a different team. Whereas usually, like, there's contracts that are stopping it, so you wouldn't even think about it. So, like...
But you just didn't have that, so it opened up a lot more.
Yeah, so it was like, that's what I mean, there was no security for anybody. So when Matt's dropping 1.75 million, it's like, it gives him the option to speak to other people, whereas if there was an actual stable org, you wouldn't even add the option.
Well, what about, like, how hard was that, considering, like, that, you know, the Red team, when you guys first formed, I think people had high hopes. If I remember correctly, at least going into Vegas, like, a lot of us had you pegged as, like, a top 4 team.
Yeah.
That had to have been hard to deal with, I imagine.
No, because it happens. Teams just flop, but I think our roles were just the problem in the previous team.
We've heard that a lot this year, like,
Matt
rolls this, rolls that.
Because this game's just about, like, flying around together. I think if we had Ben sub in that tree, Ben use a sub in that team, and Trey use a Maddox or a main, I think we'd have been a lot better.
Well, fortunately, we can't see if that would have been the case. Well, what about, I asked him kind of about Jetly and Parzillion not being in the league. It's kind of wild now that Bance isn't going to be in the Pro League. How do you feel about that?
It was my decision, so.
All right. Well, it's just as simple as that.
Ben just had, like, a rough year. Like, if he was still to use a Sorg, I actually think he would have been good. But he forced himself to go back to a Maddox in the team with Carson, and he just shit the bed again. So.
He just couldn't get a click in this year. I mean, if I remember right, last year.
He's not an AR.
Last year, even, like, I feel like he had, like, a really good, what was it, Birmingham?
Yeah,
but outside of that, like, he had kind of an off year last year, too.
He was I don't know. Last year was different though. I think he was just super uncomfortable in that team with like Tom and Matt.
Gotcha.
So I thought like us picking him up, he'd be super comfortable in our team, which he was. I don't know. He just can't use the Maddox for some reason.
Well, let's talk about. So you obviously had that the units team recently at Anaheim. I guess I kind of want to know what you guys think went wrong. Brack, for you, what was the deal?
I think it was that optic match spiraled everything out of control. We went up 2-0 versus them. Everyone was clicking and stuff, and then they just had their best maps, and we got reverse swept.
And that's like that was the first match, if I remember right, to kick off Charlie or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, first game of the day.
And did you feel like you guys just kind of tilted to a degree from there, or the vibes were off, or just one of those ones that was just tough to rebound from?
We just let him get their best S&D because Carson doesn't know how to play payload.
Was it frequency or was it payload? Yeah, those.
He doesn't know how to play payload.
No.
I know how to play. I didn't want to play.
He was literally like, I'm not playing payload. So I knew if I'd done the vetoes and then we load into game 5 and they go, right, we're playing payload, Carson's head is literally off the station.
Not a payload fan.
No, I've heard it's just so fluky. Like
I've heard that from other players.
So we give them their best map, that they're 7-0 on game 5, so there was literally 0 chance we were winning the map.
So it was frequency the map high?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they, I might have cursed them because I said I think they were like 8 or 9-0 heading into the game 5 against Gen G. And
Yeah,
then
they lost that. That was the first time they lost that map.
Yeah, that might have been my bad. But let's talk, Brack, a little bit about, all right, so you've become this rising superstar. You've been performing really well statistically. There's been a lot of hype around your ability in the community, I think, with other pro players. I remember talking to, it was Krim early in the title when we were talking about the Midnight team, and the two he was really high on for that team, I think it was you and it was Envoy, that he was like, these guys are absolutely disgusting. And usually, Krim's been around a while. I take his word when he can judge if a player's been solid. But you've been jumping around a little bit, and you've had some good opportunities, like with the most recent team, but LG's a different beast. Like, this is your big chance. Do you feel a little added pressure now to perform with a team like Luminosity?
It's not like a pressure thing. I'm comfortable with the guys. Like I said, our scrims went really well so far. I'm feeling really good. I'm really excited to play, and I don't know. Well,
this is probably, you were surrounded by like amateurs turned pro. You played with some, guys that have been around a long time, but from a talent perspective, this is probably, the best lineup you've ever experienced,
right,
I imagine.
Yeah. A lot of experience. I know I'm going to learn a lot. I learned a lot the first day.
Well, I'm curious. So I feel like on most of your teams thus far, you've been kind of the shining star in the Maddox role. Like, you've been not necessarily the guy baiting, but you know what I mean. You're the guys put up the numbers, put up the damage, get the streaks. Like, you've been the guy going 30 and 10, dropping a big map. Now you're alongside somebody like Formal. I know he's switching from the ICR, but Formal, one of the greatest Call of Duty players of all time. Does it change your play style at all, now having like a dynamic Maddox like that next to you?
If anything, it just makes it better. I'll be more than glad to bait.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With somebody like Formal next to you, do you guys have to? Did you switch anything? What are you running specialist-wise?
Yeah, I'm running Vision Pulse and Flamethrower. I've never ran that on LAN. I tried it and it didn't go well, but so far it went well. So.
How hard is it to switch in this game? Like, rated, because we've seen like one position I think it's been tough for players to get has been like a good Ruin grapple player. Like, has been Saw grapple player. It's been like hard for people to find. Have you had to switch at all with regards to roles this year for specialists?
Grapple Slug now, which the only problem with like that is
right?
You'd think, but he's too fast. Like, he was already too fast without it. So like,
now he's even faster.
That's what I mean. Now he has a grapple, so he's just. But like, I feel like the problem with Ruin grapples is like the grapple. They always try and get like 3 kills with a grav. Like, people who are good, like Jerd's like super good with it because he knows when to grab just for the 1 kill. I think that's people's problem. They feel like they have to get 2 or 3 with the grab slam when really you only have to get like that 1 important kill and then trade the rest. So I think that's been the problem with grab slam players.
Yeah, no, it's been talked about a lot. I think on like every hot mic we discussed a little bit. Just this team, you kind of hinted at a little bit, but it's all teamwork. It's all being comfortable in your roles. And some players, some teams have had a ton of trouble kind of figuring that out. I know you said you had a couple scrims, Brack, but I guess how do you feel about the teamwork and roles early, even though it's been pretty limited?
I'm feeling really confident. I don't know. Caesar just pops 3 or 4 pieces with his Tempest.
He said he's the best Tempest in the game. I think he tweeted that a month back or so.
I think he probably is.
He's up there? He's up there?
Oh, he's definitely up there. He's nasty with it.
Well, you guys have, like, it's crazy because you have, like, it feels on paper, like, I haven't seen you guys play yet, but on paper it feels like you have, like, that combination of young talent, veterans, the skills there, And like I think one thing with LG that we've noticed about a lot of other teams, like a lot of other teams took a gamble on like young players and they really paid off. Like look at I don't know, you think about Priest on 100 Thieves, you think about Optic and I guess Dashy, I mean this year blowing up, Envoy, like a lot of these young guys, like LG was like the one team that hadn't really done that yet. So now that's, I guess I see it as their chance, like their gamble on some young players, see if it pays off. But I don't know, I'm excited to see what you guys can do because I feel like, do you feel like this is a team that has potential to compete for championships?
Yeah. It's definitely going to pay off.
Yeah, well, it better because that's my livelihood. I want to talk then a little bit about right on your side of things with the new team because I think there was some confusion in Rostermania about some of the decisions that went down across the board. But with yours, I think there's just some players that people haven't really seen a lot of. Now, you and Joe are basically married at this point. You're bonded at the hip. You're going to be buried next to each other. You've teamed together forever.
This has been mine and Joe's last time teaming together, ever.
You think this is the last time?
Yeah.
What, the divorce is impending after this?
It could have happened any time. I'm just an idiot.
So was it you and Joe that kind of built this roster together, or did you?
Yeah, well, it was like, I was joining MINDFREAK. I was very close.
Really?
I was going to join MINDFREAK because it's literally just free money, to be honest. That's the only reason.
I was actually thinking
like, if I play the open bracket, I'm winning 15K. Like,
I was thinking about the other day, like
right.
MINDFREAK, like they haven't been in the Pro League, and it's a little bit different this year because you get the 500 each for winning matches. So there's a little bit more money in the Pro League, but I think for them,
that's free money. Like,
they're winning the most money they probably have in years, right?
Yeah.
MINDFREAK, now this is off topic. I didn't even want to talk about this, but do you think MINDFREAK, like, did they have a chance to come in and make some noise as champs?
I was literally going to join MINDFREAK. Like, the only reason why I didn't join MINDFREAK is because I wasn't allowed to play their national qualifier.
National circuit, right? Yeah.
So it just didn't happen. That's literally the only reason why I didn't join them. But like, I think, like I said, this game's literally just teamwork. So as long as you have 5 people on the same page, you'll be good.
I mean, I'm just excited to see. I know it's not what we were really touching on, but MINDFREAK, what they can do. Because if you think about champs pools, like it's not like your major pools where it's kind of all Pro League teams. Like you're going to have basically one good team, one bottom of the barrel team.
Yeah.
MINDFREAK, I think they can come out top 2 and go to
100%.
winners bracket without question. But let's talk a little bit about your squad. So I think you said to me earlier, you haven't even seen one of your guys play on LAN yet. Like
it was a weird because I was dealt a short straw, the shortest of straws. But like with this situation, like we didn't have an org, so we literally had to get European players because we obviously haven't got housing. So it was like,
I guess that makes sense.
Weeman's actually really good.
Well, when did he start to pop off? Was it last year? Or the year before?
He got top 6 at Vegas as well, or top 8, top 6. That team,
really?
team.
Oh yeah.
Nolson's on that team as well.
Was he on the champs team too last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, Weeman's really good. Nolson, everyone knows Nolson's really good. Cammy's just a literal coin flip. I couldn't tell you if he's good, bad. I'll literally find out tomorrow.
Watch, he's just nasty. He's like the best player in the game.
Like he's like one of them kids who like he was a warrior online. Like he literally just ran for everyone online. So it was just like, okay, let's go coin flip.
See how it goes.
I'll find out tomorrow.
See how it goes.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, well the European squad is back.
Like he's like I said, this game we just need 5 people on the same page. Like if there was any other title, we wouldn't stand a chance. But I feel like we can make something work.
All right. Well, we kind of talked a little about your guys' teams, but let's talk a little bit about kind of Rostermania. So I have all the rosters printed out here. I just kind of want to go through them one by one to hear your thoughts. We talked about units. We talked about Luminosity. One that I was kind of surprised by was, I guess, the EG change because, well, one, they haven't been very good. Phantoms has looked solid, and then you just bring in Accuracy, who's been okay this year. I guess I just want to hear both of your thoughts on the EG change. Brack.
They messed up.
You think so?
Oh yeah, Timmy's nasty.
I thought so too. Like when they were doing well in the Pro League, he was dropping he had like a 1-4. He was frying.
Yeah, they messed up. They shouldn't have done that. But
I mean, they have. I guess if you have anything positive there, you've got veterans across the board, which will probably be like to your point, Ray, talking about them being on the same point or being on the same page. That might help there, but
it was more to do with how he is as a like from where I got killed. He's like more of a child. That's why they got rid of him, so you don't get that out of him.
And you're teaming with like Cap and Apathy who've been
That's what I mean.
for the better part of 20 years. It
But
feels like.
still, like, he was probably their best player when he picked him up. Well, not even probably. He's literally the best
Stats-wise,
player,
he was the one frying when they were
That's with
succeeding.
an ICR as well. So
I don't think he had a great. I didn't look at the stats before this. I don't think he had a
top
really.
16 at Anaheim. No one's having a great
Exactly.
Like, if you're having a great event, you're placing top 16, you're doing something right.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. All right, who else can we talk about? Let's touch on UIU, which came together. It's Methods, Blast, Classic, Phantoms, and Saints.
I like it.
You do? Why?
Out of like, well, they could have got. Like, it's much better than their previous team.
And UIU's been
on paper,
bad.
They're the worst team in the league. The
Yeah.
previous team, and they're not even close.
You think this team has a chance? I mean,
On paper, it's better. Like, obviously, they could Well, we're gonna smoke tomorrow anyway, but
You play tomorrow?
yeah, first game.
Brack, what do you think about UYU?
I don't know. I guess they have potential. I don't know.
On
It's just,
paper,
it's just
not
like a
that
weird.
bad.
It's just weird to me, I guess. It just feels like it's all the like leftovers, right?
I think
Like,
Blast is
guys.
actually going to be good though eventually. Like,
Well,
everyone
I've been
roasting-
saying that. I've been
like,
saying that forever. Like,
everyone roasting online, but I think like it's like when you surround yourself with better players, I feel like you just get better.
I've said this multiple times, and I know for those of you watching, I know I've said it a ton, but every single person I've seen that's been like a god online
Yeah, that's what I mean.
ends up being good
Yeah,
on LAN.
it's
Eventually, I've never
I
seen.
think it's just you just need to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had like a stacked
That's what I
team
mean,
per se.
not
yet.
ever.
I mean, he had Sensor on his team last year. We did have Dashy, I guess, last year, but they.
With sensors, so it's like rounding out something about.
Yeah, no, that ends up balancing out. All right, so Splice. I mean, Nolson's no longer on the team. He's with you now, and they somehow managed to just bring Hook on the team. Rated, how do you feel about this Splice?
Tweet out like I don't know how long ago that tweet was. It was like a month ago or 2 months ago, saying if Temp and Hugh end up on the same team, the year's chalked. So it's probably chalked.
They-
So we'll just pack our bags.
I mean, they should be ridiculous, right? Like, do you see a way in which they could fail?
No.
So they're like, are they
So they're
instantly
gonna
like a
be-
top 3
yeah,
team for you?
Well, top 4. I think anyone can be anyone around the top 4, but they should be disgusting. I'd be very surprised if they're not at least top 4.
Me too. We had to grade them on trading shots, and I was like, how do you not give it an A+? Like,
It's impossible not to.
you got Hook. Brack, thoughts on Splice?
I definitely upgraded from that, but
You go from a sub to Hook. Yeah, it works out.
yeah, I don't know. They're gonna be. We play them this week, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess I'd worry about
I
like.
don't know who's running Grapple,
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, honestly.
Jid or Hugh.
That's
Probably Jared, I would imagine.
I would assume, like, my thought process would be give it to Hugh to slow Jid down. Because Jid's going to be 10 million. Well, Jid's always 10 million.
Well, yeah, but that I wouldn't worry about. Like, I was worried about it because you have like, I don't know, statters, what we call it. Like people that put big numbers in the sense of like Hook and Temp. But when you have someone like Looney, you have someone
Yeah.
like Jared, it feels like
Just give Hugh War Machine, he'll get about 6 a map.
that team like looks perfect on
No,
paper.
it's
Like
really good.
it looks so good. All right, this was one that I was kind of startled by, just considering this got top 6. Like, E6 had this great event. They had a chance to get into what, like top 3, top 4. GodderX has the event of his life. I think he dropped like an average KD of like a 1.4. He was an absolute beast throughout that event. Brack, were you super surprised to see they ended up making that change?
Yeah, I don't know why they made that change. I mean, you just placed top 6. They placed top 6 before, I think at Fort Worth. I don't know. I see one change, but they just got rid of an entry player with Jet Li. And they got rid of Frosty. I don't know. I don't see where that makes any sense.
Yeah, because Frosty, like I feel like, yeah, I know he
I
hasn't
think
been.
it's going to end up being unreal.
Yeah, no, I
It's
do
like
too.
the same situation with Blast. Like, when he gets surrounded by better players, I think he'll be better.
And it helps to have a guy, because none of
yeah,
those
there's no way
guys
he
I feel
doesn't
like
have composure.
Yeah, exactly.
no way he doesn't.
Exactly, because none of those guys have been in like a championship position, right?
Yeah,
But
and he's won back-to-back.
he's won like world champs in Halo. Like he has all this experience. Like I feel like having someone on your team that you don't have to worry about. Like even if he's not the best search player, I trust him in a one-on-one over a lot of other players just because he's gonna have the ice. He's not worried about it at all. I was kind of shocked. And when you think back to when E6 made the change before, remember they came out and they really struggled in the Pro League. I think they went. I think it was like 2-5 or something in those 2 weeks. Like they had a lot of game 5s, they had a lot of extended series, but it took them a lot to improve and get to the point they did. Now you're gonna have 1 week of crossplay, online scrims, and the biggest tournament of the year. What is it, like 1.2 mil? It's something insane on the line for playoffs.
The one thing I will say
Seems
is
crazy.
I don't buy into the argument of changing after a top 6, because assuming they're like me, I wouldn't care if I placed top 6. I don't think anyone cares. Top 6 is not a good placing.
No,
If you wanna win.
It had to have been because they
And
think.
it's also a good time to change because your stock's high, so you can get.
No, it's
you
true.
wanna get.
It has to be that they think like they kind of met their ceiling with that
Yeah,
team, and
that's
this is
what I
going to
mean.
bump their ceiling.
So like, who wants to carry on placing top? Obviously, top 6 isn't the end.
But when you look at it, it's just, are you convinced?
well, yeah, that's what. No. I'm
Mayhem
not
and
saying that
Brezzy-
changes were the right changes. I'm just saying I don't buy into the why they're changing after a top 6.
To be fair, Brezzy's been
Well,
disgusting.
yeah, he's really good.
Well, all right. Well, that's enough of Rostermania. That's going to actually take us into our TCL clip of the week. This is one of the more unreal plays, and I want to chat about it. This is actually going to be the 1v5 for Looney. We'll let this roll, and then I want to discuss it.
So,
And the mics will be hot during this, so we can kind of talk about it.
why
But
don't people play like this against me? If I'm in this 1v5, just know there's 5 people flying. At the same time.
snap there. Apathy got destroyed. Exotic got destroyed.
Body stack.
Like, why do they not play like this against me?
How much, by the way, with the body stack, there was the change that happened, right, where like you do more collateral damage like through players. Have you guys noticed any impact on that in scrims or anything? I was wondering if that was really going to matter much. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a moment that it really stood out to me, at least in Anaheim.
They're playing like meatheads. They didn't play.
That's what I mean. I'm telling you, if this is me,
Versus
there's
us.
5 people at once on top of me. They're playing to punch me.
He just wins his 1v1.
Yeah, 1v1's just...
Well, the fact that we got to the one-on-one. I don't even know how to, it's usually, like, what is it, what do we always say in 4v4? It's like the second guy you blame?
Yeah.
I don't even know, what is it in 5v5? The
Second,
and the
third,
third?
fourth.
Second and third. The second and third, I'd say.
Definitely was not the first.
That was apathy, I think they got smoked, yeah. That's unreal. Did you guys think,
No, I didn't think it'd ever happen.
yeah, no, that was going to be my question. With the fact that you have healing, with the fact it's 5v5, like,
It
did
should
you
be
see a
impossible.
1v5
It should actually
happening?
be impossible.
Especially at the pro level, right?
Especially like there, it's not as if they were spread around the map. They were literally all 5 on top of him. That should be dead.
Yeah, everyone, if you drew like a circle around that,
Yeah,
like
he-
it
they were
had to be
very
like a
close.
15-foot
Yeah,
circle
they were very
everybody was
close.
inside of.
It should be.
That was horrible. And then we see why EG made a team change, even if that maybe wasn't enough. All right, so this is going to be the community comps. We're going to go through, guys. They had some questions for you. All right, let's get to tweet 1. This is from Ronnie87. Brack, what is it like teaming up with Formal, arguably one of the best players to ever play the game?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm excited. I'm ready to see. I mean, he brings a lot of experience, right? Like, I don't know, I'm just going to feed off of that. And I don't know.
Are you worried at all? I mean, this is, and I'm not saying it's been Formal's fault, but obviously, with the Optic team, it seemed like him and Scump started like fall a little bit. They bumped heads like the 2 superstars, like a Kobe Shaq type thing, and then you probably put a lot of it on Gunless, but then I think Gunless and Formal start to bump heads on that particular team. Like, has it seemed so far like, I guess, has it been all roses and sunshine thus far with the team?
So far, yeah.
You seem like a
we've done
nice
it
kid.
for
It
4
should be
guys.
all right.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we're all vibing together really well. So.
What do you think? Do you think the single biggest thing that you guys find a big success is John getting back to John form?
Yeah.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah. If they play really well, like our Sogs, we're fine.
Why?
I
I think it's
we
the
have
biggest
best,
question
yeah.
mark. I think it's the biggest question mark because like I feel really good about you guys at AR. I feel like I think you know what you get from Slack. They might always be the prettiest numbers, but he's
I
consistent
don't
as
think
all
he's been
hell.
that bad on this game.
No, he hasn't at all. But like he's
Okay,
just
so-
super consistent.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to go out and drop.
He does
it
what he needs to do.
1.5, but
He does what he needs to do.
100%. It's just John that
Right.
needs to fry and hasn't. How's he looked in scrim so far?
He's looked amazing so far.
Maybe a little bit of a vibe change will help John. Who the hell?
I think that was a big factor. Bringing Caesar
It could be.
on.
I mean, we've heard that it depends on the player, obviously, how much you get impacted by the emotional and personal side of stuff. Some people don't really care. Some people, I think it can impact a lot. Maybe it'll help John. We'll have to-
I heard like Matt didn't laugh a lot, and he's been laughing every single day.
That's
Almost
good.
nonstop.
That's
So, like,
good. Yeah, no, dude, I've known Matt. A lot of you know I've casted him since the Halo days. I've known Matt for like 10 years. It feels like, but. Yeah, no, it's really obvious to me when I have one-on-ones with him, like where his state of mind is, and yeah, it just hasn't been good as of late, but he seems excited for the future, so that'll be interesting. All right, let's get to our next tweet. This is from Tyler Squanto. Which team do you felt got the most out of Rostermania?
Spice.
It's hard to argue, right?
It's impossible to argue.
Yeah, I argued LG on trading shots because I'm an idiot. I
That's like a second, but it's just like Spice got here.
Well, the answer after I recorded the final segment, where I think Pac-Man argued Splice, I argued LG, I realized that was stupid because I should have argued 100 Thieves. Because 100 Thieves, I think you could argue they got the most out of this. With all these team changes, all these people trying to figure out their roles, like you don't feel like if you're 100 Thieves, you're not sitting there laughing
No.
because of
It's
what,
just-
Splice?
No, just because everyone got better.
You really feel everyone improved?
Not everyone, but like
But the
all
majority
their
of the top teams?
competition got better. So no, 100 teams that would have been there.
I guess I could view it as they could just be sitting there like, all right, guys, you guys all make
It's
your
like
changes.
LG
We're
now
still
good
sitting here
again.
back to back.
Spice are now good again.
Dude,
That's about it.
I just think if you guys are good, because you guys don't have a chance to get into playoff side of it, right? Well, you
I
can
don't think so.
You can play in it, but you have to go through the wild card or play
As
in
long as they
bracket,
don't play
wherever
us
it
round
is.
one, we're fucking blessed.
You're gonna end up getting round one. That'll be
Play
great.
the class.
Payload search, game 5.
No, payload search map 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
All right, let's get to the final question. This is from Iris Caden. All of you are some of the best in the world at Call of Duty, and you practice daily to maintain that skill level. What kinds of self-care do you do when experiencing fatigue from such high levels of competition? Brack, you've been competing like a year, so I don't know if you've had much yet.
Right. I recently started like keeping track of my calorie count.
Really?
Yeah. Start cutting back on that.
I ate three triple cheeseburgers from McDonald's yesterday. I'm paying for it today. it was 10 p.m. and I was really hungry, and I just got back in from Dallas, and I didn't have any food, so I ordered McDonald's, and I should do that. Have you been feeling better?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Some days I have a cheat day, but
Some days.
Yeah.
Some days in quotation.
I've been doing it for about a week.
Every day is a cheat day.
There's no point asking me. Look at the size of me. I'm absolutely massive.
Oh, no, you're beautiful.
I love food.
I do too. I love it so much.
Well, what can you
it's
do?
my favorite thing in the world.
Precisely.
I just want to cover myself in cheeseburgers.
That's all I do.
God. What about you, though? As far as, I know maintain, maybe not from the health side, but like, what about like, I don't know, hands, eyes, anything you do to kind of just make sure you stay in shape from a game standpoint?
No, not really. I think just like not overdoing it. I feel like everyone's like under the misconception that you have to play non-stop 24 hours a day. But I feel like they get to a point where you're playing too much. It's like we have like in every team I've ever been in, we have 1 day off a week. Just because like it's good to just recharge the batteries and just not go overdo it, I think.
So the biggest thing is just balance.
Yeah, just not doing enough, but also not doing too much.
All right. Well, guys, hey, I appreciate it because I didn't use most of these cards because Ian wasn't here and a lot of the questions were for him. So, but for you two wonderful gentlemen, good luck with LG. Good luck with units. I'm excited to see what you guys are capable of. I appreciate you coming on Hot Mic, but it's time to get into crossplay. Thank you for watching.